Hello everybody, this is Dr. Cole. It's Saturday afternoon, March 5th, now entering week 9 of Political Science 1013 for the the spring 2022 term. Everyone, it's Saturday the 5th. Our midterm exam is Monday the 7th, the day after tomorrow. 50 items, true, false, and multiple choice. Remember, what you are responsible for is the material you read for the first 4 quizzes. Expect 10 or 15 of those items to be repeated. Mostly, though, it is based upon the class notes for units 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 50 items instead of the 10 you've had on the quizzes you've been taking. I think you'll find the degree of difficulty to be about the same as on the quizzes. But you will have some quiz material repeated, and also most of the material based on units 1, 2, 3, and 4, you will have 45 minutes rather than the 15 you've had for the quizzes to take the exam. And that will be available for you for 24 hours the day after tomorrow, Monday the 7th. Okay? So Monday the 7th will be our midterm exam. That's the day after tomorrow. If you see this message today, Saturday. All right? Okay, so we will do that Monday. Everybody, after the upcoming week, we have spring break. So I'm not going to get another message out for 2 weeks, because after this coming week, we go on spring break for a week. After we take the midterm exam, we're going on to Unit 5 on the Presidency. I should go ahead and get in a quiz before we go on spring break. So that'll be coming up pretty quickly. I'll send you some things to read. And more than likely, we'll take the quiz along about Thursday, so we can get that in before we go on spring break. And then after spring break, there will be a discussion related to the presidency. And I will try to get that assignment out this week. But we will not be doing that until after spring break. So this will be over Unit 5 on the presidency. Let me say just a few words about what we'll be looking at there. We begin by looking at the recent presidents, going back to President Carter, and especially President George W. Bush, President Obama, President Trump, and also President Biden. We talk about what the Constitution says about the president, especially presidential powers. Some sensitive issues come up with regard to presidential powers, especially with regard to military matters and national security. We also go through the expectations that people have about the roles that the president is expected to play, or as one political scientist put it, the hats that the president is expected to wear. The president has to do many, many things at the same time. And this is what makes it a very complicated, challenging job to try to pull off. Another aspect of what the Constitution says about the president is the way in which the president is elected. There are some provisions about that in the Constitution, but others have been filled in since the Constitution was ratified over the first few decades of American history. There are some very distinctive things about presidential elections that make it different, these elections different from just about any other election. One aspect of it is the length of the election campaign, the steps we have to go through to get Democratic and Republican candidates nominated the summer before the general election, so they can face each other in November of election year. And the process on that includes the primaries and caucuses that may go back a year or more before the presidential election itself. There's also the controversial institution of the Electoral College, okay, which has become a matter of controversy in recent times, especially in the wake of the 2000 and 2016 elections, when candidates won in the Electoral College despite having fewer nationwide popular votes than their opponents, which the Electoral College permits. However, when we also talk about the resources that the president has at his or her disposal to try to get other actors in Washington, D.C. to do what presidents want them to do, in particular members of Congress, trying to get them to support a bill that the president may want to get passed. We also discuss the bureaucratic apparatus immediately around the president in the White House, which may number several hundred people, depending on who's counting, including such positions as the White House Chief of Staff and the position of Press Secretary, as well as other positions heading up small bureaucratic agencies that are there to advise the President, such as the National Security Council, and the Office of Management and Budget, the Budget Office. So you'll be looking at things like that, the apparatus surrounding the President to advise and help and support the President as the Unit 5 lines up. All right, so then we'll be taking our exam Monday. After that, we're going to get an assignment out. We'll try to get a quiz in after the exam before we go on spring break. And then we'll have a discussion related to Unit 5 after spring break. And I won't be speaking to you again, I don't plan to, until 2 weeks from now at this time, because we're going on spring break. So I wish you good luck on your exam and your quiz later this week. And we'll talk to you again about 2 weeks from now.